welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. If you can believe it, the time of year has come round again. We are fast approaching the final of Bristol's Metal to the Masses competition, where one awesome band will be picked to play the legendary Bloodstock Festival. I'll be bringing you interviews with all the various finalists. You can get to know them, discover some awesome new music, and just generally have some fun conversations. And kicking us off this year, I'm joined by Vulture God, one of the winners of the first semi-finals. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. How are we all doing?
Very well, thank
Yeah,
you.
really
Good
Very
man.
well.
well. It's very warm where I am right now, though. Is it warm for anyone
It's
else?
Yeah, I'm
it's warm.
sweating.
It's
It's
Warm in
fucking
my
been
black void.
particularly warm, yes.
Mate, that
Cool.
intro was so good. That was so
That was
professional. You just
professional,
fully
yeah.
snapped into that. Fair play to you, man. Class.
It's my line. What's my line?
Pay no attention to the script on my other monitor. So,
Has it got our
You
lines
don't have
on?
to tell us that. We said
oh
this off the
god,
dome.
this ain't my first rodeo. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves and your roles within the band?
Yeah, I am Milo. I am front man, so that includes vocals and rhythm guitar, and I also pull weird faces that a lot of people note when
Do
I'm
one. Do
performing.
one.
That's There's a lot of that. There's a lot of this. There's a lot.
I've got
A
the
lot of that sort
thumbnail.
of stuff. Yeah, that's mainly my kind of role, and yeah, sort of admin bits and all that boring stuff as well. I guess someone's got to do it, so yeah, bit of that on the side.
I'm one of the Bens, and I do lead guitar. Yeah,
Short and sweet.
yeah.
I
I
can
do
be
some
even more
weird
precise.
faces. I do some weird faces, but not on purpose. Like Milo.
Usually because your hair's in your eyes, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of that.
Not intentional weird faces.
I'm the other Ben, although I perform under the stage name of Mummy. And I play bass and don't pull that many weird faces, I don't think. And then also help Milo out on the back end of stuff, doing the kind of designy stuff, organizing shit. Yeah, all of that fun behind the scenes stuff.
Tom, drums.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time. I think there's a lot of bands this year doing funny faces. We've got you guys, we've got Smile More, we've got Cruelty Circuit. They're all pulling ridiculous faces. So funny faces are back in metal, basically.
Yeah,
Year
that's
of the
what
funny face.
Hell yeah.
that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? That's the real reason people come to Metal to the Masses. So we're just
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
the king of funny faces in metal's got to be Devin Townsend for me, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's
I don't
very
know.
The
good
guy,
shout.
the,
Old mate from Meshuggah has.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
the
good point.
classic.
Unlocked.
Old mate,
Yeah.
old mate.
Yeah, you're a man from
Mate.
Meshuggah.
You're a man.
For sure, for sure. So for people watching, we are recording this a month to the day before the final. So I guess my first question for you guys is: so none of you fancy download this weekend?
I did, but my bank account didn't.
That exact same thing. Yeah.
Valid. Yeah.
I'm working. I can't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
can
rock and roll.
I can only swing one major festival a year, and it's always normally Bloodstock. So.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's like, if you wouldn't mind plugging the shit out of this channel, I'll get more subscribers. I'll get accreditation next year. I'll bring you all along.
Yes. Okay. Deal.
Deal.
We have that in writing,
That is a
please.
deal. Yeah.
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 Right, so
Yeah, gutted to be missing it though. Like missing Corn on the main stage that's really gonna hurt. And also, I'm so excited to see this first show of President. I don't know if you've seen the hype about
Oh,
them,
of
but
course, yeah.
I really want to see that.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
It's
Apart
a
from it's
mystery.
definitely Charlie Simpson, and as a huge Fight Star fan, I want to be there. But yeah,
Cool. So let's fittingly start at the beginning of things. Am I right in thinking that this project used to be under a different name?
You would
Yeah,
be
you are.
correct in thinking so. Yeah.
So, how did this project start? How did we get to where we are today with Vulture God?
At
Yeah,
Bloodstock,
that's-
funnily enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
so,
it away, Ben. Take it away.
So Milo and me were at music college together, and we went to Bloodstock in 2018. I think we were watching. Was it Mr. Big?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching Mr. Big, and we just thought we should form a band.
We should.
Obviously, we were heavily inspired by the performances there, so we just thought, yeah, this is what we want to do, and yeah, that's how it started. Anyway, Milo, if you want to.
Yeah,
Carry on.
so we,
Here's
like
the
Ben said, we were
remix.
we were in college together. That's how we met, but we were in different bands at college. And my band sort of broke up. Ben's actually still in his band from college, Droog's a punk band, which is pretty cool. Check him out. But yeah, Ben's always loved a bit of metal, and obviously so have I. And we kind of thought we get on pretty well, and I reckon we could give this a shot. And yeah, so we formed a band. We ended up calling it Anorak for quite a while. We yeah, got a couple of people together.
We were a two-piece for quite a while, weren't we?
Yeah, for a few months we actually did a gig. Like to be honest, we started out so productive. We kind of would spend like we'd do like alternating weekends at each other's houses, write some songs, and then we did like just like a 10-minute set. I'm from Oxford originally, so my dad's also a musician, and he kind of put on some event and just kind of chucked us on with a backing track. And we actually played a cover of Heaviest Matter of the Universe by Gojira as well. I don't know if you noticed, but we're kind of fans of Gojira.
Yeah,
The
we'll get to
boys.
that.
There's some small inspiration in there as well.
It's funny
But
too,
yeah.
because that night that we played, that first night when it was just the two of us with the laptop, it definitely was not a metal night. It was like,
No, it was
it's like,
not at all. But people seemed to dig it. It was yeah, it was like one
it's
of the
like
bands was like
world music
yeah,
or something.
Iranian like
Yeah.
folk fusion kind of stuff, and like pretty chill. And my dad's like playing acoustic, and then we open the night with yeah, one original song, and then
An
Heaviest
absolute
Matter of the
racket.
Universe.
Is
So yeah.
that's the video you shared before? I'm sure I've seen the two of you with like a laptop behind you, just like shredding on the guitar
Yeah.
in a pub that's not asking
Yeah,
for it.
probably.
I've
yeah.
never seen this. I
Maybe
need to
not.
see
Matching
this.
man buns as well.
What's the song that you played? What was the original one?
We played the first song we
Finally at
wrote was
Peace.
Finally at Peace. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
really? Which is
yeah,
Yeah.
still an opener to this day.
But
Amazing.
it was that
yeah,
with the original demo drums, right?
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. Just a
it's
laptop drummer.
for reference. That's the song we opened the first heat with. So yeah, if you remember us playing that song, that is the first song we ever wrote back in 2018. Ridiculous. Let's speed along a little bit anyway, because a few years went by, didn't really get up to much, played a few gigs here and there. And then yeah, we kind of had a lineup change. For yeah, various reasons. People couldn't commit and kind of I guess, yeah, it's just sort of this life isn't meant for everyone, it's a lot. Um,
There's no bad blood
and
or anything. It was
oh
just,
no, no, not at
yeah, I
all.
think we just mutually decided, yeah, like,
Yeah.
time to move on, really.
But Ben and I,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, still had the passion for it and just wanted to keep going. So we actually met other Ben Raygate here. I actually met him through a WhatsApp group that a mutual friend of ours created for just sort of local Bristol gigs and stuff.
Mm.
And you actually came along to what happened to be the last ever gig with the previous lineup.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, kind of, I reached out on that group chat like, we need a bass player and a drummer.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Please, definitely, please. Because that was
I
that
still
was funny,
remember at
actually.
that gig. Oh, sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, I came up and complimented you on how sexy your guitar was. Yeah, it was a friend of a friend had said, "Oh, you should go and check this band out." And I'd literally moved to Bristol about maybe a few weeks before then, and was really keen to like meet people like in the metal scene. I didn't know anybody in that room. And what's really nice is there's a picture from that night, and I now know everybody in that picture. I was stood next to Tom. I was watching these fellas on stage. There was like Adam from the Hellcats there. There was Ben from Epimetheus there. Like I know everyone now, and I didn't know anyone. But yeah, got on really well with these guys. And so when Milo said we're looking for a new bassist and drummer, I said yes, please. And he was quite blunt. He was like, "We're not just going to let anyone in, by the way. Like you will have to be good." And I haven't been playing bass for very long. Like I have always been a drummer and switched the bass a few years ago. So I was like, oh shit, I've got to nail this one. So I made him like a little audition tape and sent it off, and the feedback was good. And so I've been in the band since
You
then.
learnt the songs very quick, to be fair. So
Mm.
the song that we usually close with, well, literally always, I don't think we've ever closed with a different song. No Easy Answer. I remember I sent you a demo of that, and I think you literally learnt it within like a day.
Yeah, well, I wanted to impress you because I was like,
So
I'm not the best bassist here. I've definitely
yeah,
got a-
he's been slacking ever since. But
I was like, I've
yeah,
got to
that
make a
first
good
day was
impression.
really impressive.
And then
Sure,
from
sure.
that-
I heard him fuck out the other night.
every night. But from then we were really keen. Like we didn't have a drummer or anything, and there were like there were rumblings. Like we had a couple of people audition and nobody was really hitting. And I'd heard about this band called Murder Hobos, and I hadn't seen them, but everybody was like, as in these two were like, "Oh, I reckon Tom from Murder Hobos is the one. He's a class drummer."
Yeah.
And we did go and see Murder Hobos actually, didn't we? Together um, at Thunderbolt, and then
Yeah, sounds about right.
eventually managed to get Tom in for a rehearsal with us. And I think all three of us were like, "Yeah, okay, sold. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Like, please, 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 can he join the band?" So, how was that from your end, Mr. Noakes?
Yeah, that happened. That was all. That was all true events. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun actually. I think that I mean, I was just coming. I think it was when was it? It was April last year. I think now. It's been just over a year, and
Yeah.
I think it was just at the time that because we played the underdog with Murder Hobos, we really, I mean, we won it. It was against all odds. I don't think that we ever expected that we'd get that far, but we ended up winning it. And then shortly after that, then I think that was when Milo messaged me saying, would you be up for it? Initially, I said no because, well, in my head, because we're riding off the success of winning the underdog. We've got like a few dates sorted out. We're going to record some songs. Like, it's actually all going well. Could I do two bands? Probably not. It'd be a lot more work. And I was initially really hesitant with the idea of learning loads of new material, which I knew wasn't going to be easy songs as well. They're not straightforward songs, and we continually write songs that are not straightforward. They are not easy to play. So I was like, I want to do a good job of it, but I don't know if I can or have the time to like do it as well as I want to. But we ended up just sort of mashing through them for months really, and gotten to the point where I just went, this sounds really fucking good. And I think that I agreed. I just said, yeah, I think this is absolutely fantastic. So I mean, I don't know when Murder Hobo's finished now. It was January, I think. Was it back in January, February, this year? So yeah, it's all things Vulture God from here on out. But it's been a bloody good year so far. And even though we spent, a lot of it kind of preparing all the background stuff so that we can kind of really just go for it this year.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We kind of put all the background stuff in place and rehearsed, all the songs to death so that they sound good because this technical parts they've got to translate on stage. And I think the chemistry of us just playing them has developed so much in the last few months, especially. I think that since we've had the sort of traction of playing them live, because I mean, how many gigs have we done? 6, 7?
I think it's only
Something
about
like that.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
now that we've actually started gigging as a band that we realize, oh, on stage, right, that doesn't work. Right, let's just like rehearse that bit to death so that it really translates. But then also just say, well, this bit kind of doesn't work. Let's, like, how can we give it a boost somehow? But
You really learn a lot of
yeah,
gigs, don't you, that you would never necessarily notice in the rehearsal room?
yeah.
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 But yeah, it's been a absolutely fucking brilliant year.
And speaking of like hitting the ground running, that's the thing. So we've only rebranded since the start of this year. We actually dropped the first because we like Anorak felt. I mean, from what I hear from you guys, it felt like it was the old band. There's only 50% of the members from the old band, and we didn't necessarily feel like it was reflecting like the musical direction and stuff. We spent about 6 months going through different names, trying to settle on one, all this kind of stuff, and then 1st of January, we released a teaser saying like Anorak is dead, basically. And then about 3 or 4 days later, sort of premiered, I guess, the Vulture God branding. And I personally love it. Like
yeah.
I wasn't initially sold on like the logo.
you
design
didn't like
stuff.
it at all to start
I
with.
didn't like the one behind Milo. I thought was a bit like, oh, I don't know, it's a bit cartoonish. I love the name, but the branding has grown on me so much, and now
Yeah.
like I get such a buzz out of seeing people with like Vulture God t-shirts and stickers and stuff. But yeah, so in reality, Vulture God has only been around for what 6 months now, and Anorak as it was is only about just over a year since Tom and I joined, really.
Yeah, and I think one of the main reasons was, as Ben just mentioned, like there's actually quite a few artists called Anorak. It being just a single word on its own does mean that that's like one of the reasons why we thought we could change it and get something better. It also doesn't necessarily reflect the sound that we have the best. We wanted something that instilled fear, that was intimidating, and I think Vulture God kind of does that. It feels a lot grander. And at the end of the day, Anorak is just a coat, and it also means like
Nerd, doesn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Kind of like a
Yeah.
nerd, kind of not quite as intimidating as Vulture God.
Weirdly
Um,
fitting though, if we're being honest, it suited us.
yeah. But the other thing is we hadn't released any music yet, and we thought like if we're going to get this right and do it, it needs to be now while we haven't released anything under a name. And that kind of leads on to the fact that we are recording our debut EP at the moment.
I was
Ooh.
literally about to ask where
Yeah,
could
sorry.
people find some music
Yes.
because
So
there's some coming in this very near
yeah, I
future.
mean we've been grinding at it. We obviously want it to be, good, and we think it's worth putting in the effort. And yeah, making sure that the song's really done justice. So yeah, we are currently working on an EP. We have pretty much tracked everything and retracked everything, and we're pretty much at the mixing mastering stage now. So
It's in the oven.
yeah, it's in the oven. Yeah. Watch this space and all of those
Oh,
big things
big
coming.
things coming. I was waiting for you to say that. No,
We didn't want to say it, but
It had to be done.
since there's no actual music out at the moment, let's do the elevator pitch. How would you describe the sound of Vulture God to a new listener?
Gojira.
Yeah. Is it bad if that's the first thing that came to my mind as well? I think honestly though, like if you're gonna just describe it to someone very simplistically in just the most accurate way possible, I think
Definite.
if you like Gojira, you probably will like kind of what we do. And obviously a lot of people do say that we have that sound about us. I think my vocal style as well, when I first started doing kind of like heavy vocals and stuff, literally Gojira was my main sort of
Well,
inspiration.
you literally have Joe Duplantier's guitar.
Yeah,
There,
true.
there is that as well. I literally
Oh yeah,
play
shit.
I literally play his signature.
I
Shut
think
Up
at this
as
point
well.
we have to work extra hard to just like convince people, no, we're not a tribute band.
We're
all that
not
stuff.
Gojira.
Although we did have a conversation about it, and if we were to be a tribute band, we're definitely being a Gojira tribute band, and we're going to call
Yeah.
ourselves Georgina, but in the Gojira font, which I think would be excellent. I would also throw in Mastodon into that mix, though. I feel like with Fisher's solos and some of the weird sort of musical tangents that we tend to go off on, I would say that Mastodon is definitely in that mix of influences.
For sure.
My
That's-
two favorite bands. What a surprise!
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That's weird. I never
That's
knew that.
really odd. How did that happen?
And funnily enough, are playing back to back at Bloodstock this year.
I know.
So,
Funnily
Yeah.
enough, yes.
Hell
Yeah.
how fitting. I mean, I was going to say because obviously you played Le Vent Sauvage at your semi-final. So if you were to do a Gojira tribute project, whatever, I think you'd nail it because I was damn impressed with that because you started playing it and I went, bloody hell, that's ambitious.
You were
And
front
then-
row for that as well.
Yeah,
I was going
man.
to say,
I was.
we've
I
got
saw you
videos
singing
with
along.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how
We've
could
got
I
videos
not?
with you at the
front and
yeah.
center. There you go.
How could I not? Because yeah, I like how you put it. It was like, who's not got a ticket to Bloodstock and wants to see Gojira? Well, we have Gojira at home. No, I'm joking. No, I loved it. It was fucking sick. Really, really cool.
Nice, man. Appreciate it.
Speaking of live shows, though, you guys have done some pretty awesome shows already in your relatively short tenure. Your debut show, I think, was at the Griffin, supporting Desert Storm.
Yep.
I, mean,
Indeed. Indeed.
I was hoping to go to that, but I think did it sell out?
Oh,
It
yeah.
did.
It did
So
very quickly.
it's funny having the band that opened the main stage at Bloodstock playing a 50 cap venue and it's selling out within 2 days. I don't know how that happened.
That was awesome too, because Desert Storm are a huge influence on us. I think Milo would agree. They're literally one of our favorite bands.
So
Um,
yeah, a little thing about Desert Storm is I think I mentioned earlier I'm from Oxford, so they're an Oxford band. So I kind of became a massive fan of those guys when I saw them support Mushroomhead many years ago.
How many times have you seen them? Go on, drop the figures.
I've lost count. It's almost 40 times.
That's mental.
Yeah, I would say along with Mastodon and Gojira, they are my favorite band as well. Awesome band, awesome people. It's a privilege to be able to call them like mates of mine as well. They've been hugely supportive of our sort of musical endeavors pretty much ever since I've known them. They have just made me feel like so welcomed, I think. And we've been meaning to kind of do a gig together for ages, and I think kind of having the very first Vulture God gig as a gig supporting Desert Storm was just so awesome to do. So
Mm.
yeah, it was a real privilege to do. Real
It's
Also,
a
awesome.
shout
special.
out to Urza, who were the
Oh
second band on that
yeah,
bill.
man.
Their album, The
Urza.
Scorching Gaze, is
Yeah,
so
big shout
good.
out to Urza.
Yeah, and they're lovely blokes as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
really appreciated getting to share that space with those guys.
Speaking of live music, though, of course, let's get on to the main event. You guys are amongst the finalists at this year's Metal to the Masses on July 13th. So, what made you guys not want to waste any time with this? You've got the project sort of fully formed at this point, and you haven't wasted any time. You've gone straight for Metal to the Masses. What made you think, let's just go for it?
I think we felt up to the challenge. I think it's improved us massively as well. It kind of gives you something to work towards, and it means that you kind of have deadlines for stuff you need to get done, right? So I think it's kind of made us be more productive. And it just sort of feels that it's one of the best ways to just get the name out there, get the brand out there.
It sort of just lit a bit of a fire under our asses, didn't it, really?
Yeah,
Mm, big
yeah, and
time.
it's something that me and Ben have wanted to do for a like ever since we started Anorak, really.
Yeah.
And we actually did apply a couple of years, and we got in, and I think the first year our drummer was away for basically the entire month when like both of the semi-finals were, so couldn't do that. And then I think the second time was kind of when basically Anorak ended up, um, well, disbanding, I guess. So we didn't really want to do it with two of us again. Didn't really feel like that would have the same impact. Um, but yeah, it felt right, and I think we clicked so quickly, and we really thought, yeah, we're sounding pretty good, and let's just go for it,
And we've
basically.
also drafted in a certified competition winner in Tom as a
That's a good
reigning
point.
Hello.
underdog champion.
Yeah,
So
we're yeah,
it's also
cool.
been really class to meet like so many other bands as well because
Yeah,
like
that's another
there's
big
there's
one.
definitely bands I don't th- there's maybe one band in the whole comp that I'd already seen. So actually getting to go to the
Mm,
heats, the semis, and like check out all these other awesome local bands who are like by necessity from Bristol or the surrounding area has been really good. Like I know that we've all made really good friends with some of the bands and like the networking is awesome. Like
yeah,
at this point, obviously we want to win it. Everyone wants to win it. But if we don't win it, we've still got so much out of it that it's just been
yeah,
fully worthwhile. All of the yeah, as Milo said, like working to a deadline has really helped us get better as a band. But just meeting all the other people and also getting to see some fucking class shows.
yeah,
Like every semi and heat that we've been to has been epic. And like, yeah, it's not every day that you get to go and see a lineup with like six very good bands on. So
yeah,
that's been wicked.
yeah.
Maybe the real winner is the friends we made along the way.
Hey, there you
Nice.
go. There you go. I mean, I must say the camaraderie between all the bands this year has just been incredible.
Yeah.
I've been attending Metal to the Masses just personally for many years now. I can't remember the last time I saw so frequently bands going to other heats as well. It's just
Mm.
everyone's been doing that this year. Even bands who've been knocked out, I've seen have been coming back and
Yeah.
like seeing the other heats. It's been really cool to see and be a part of. I'm sure you'd agree.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
There's a
definitely.
proper good scene in Bristol.
Oh yeah.
Feel really
Yeah.
lucky to be
Yeah.
part of it.
It feels very strong at the moment, actually. Um, yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
think
we
I
were
think the Bristol scene's in a very good place.
who was it that we were chatting to recently that said that they were from Birmingham and that should be the kind of the heart and soul of the UK metal scene, but they were thinking it shifted more towards Bristol now.
Is it
Was
Um,
Convo?
that was it Slump?
it might have been
Yeah,
Matt from Slump.
I think it was Slump, yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I can bring it on.
Yeah,
Bristol, like I
Yeah.
know Bristol's known for its drum and bass scene and everything. I like a little bit of drum and bass, but I'm more than happy for
Boo!
there to be a big metal scene there.
That's the
That
wrong
makes me
answer here, buddy.
I like
happy.
drum. I like drums. I like bass. Put them
Yeah,
together,
exactly.
irritating.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be in that final, that close to that Bloodstock set?
Many things
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
at once, I would say. It's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, it's a bit surreal. But yeah, I think it's a pleasure to have this opportunity, really. And we know that it's going to be very well attended. Um, And yeah, I think we've just got to keep composed, keep doing what we're doing, improve on what we're doing, and just give it our all. And yeah, that's sort of all we can do, really.
I mean, regardless of what happens, it's going to be a fucking awesome night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Very looking forward to it.
I think actually, from my perspective, a lot of how that night goes is going to depend on what the random order is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because like I almost because we've been the last band on and the second last band on, and that's quite a lot of like I don't really get
Mm.
pre-stage nerves, but it's also just a lot of like, oh fucking hell, come on, I want to get on stage now. I think it will depend on where we get our slot. Like if we're the first band on and we play as well as we can humanly play, and then we get to relax, that will actually be really nice because then we just get to watch some other bands and not be stressed. I feel like if we're on towards the end of the bill again, it might be quite a lot of stress beforehand, and then play,
It's a lot of
the best show we can.
anticipation, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, it's just excitement. I want to get on that stage and play, and like I get a bit impatient with it. But I don't know. I think that could definitely affect at least how we feel on the day. I don't think it'll affect the performance because, as these guys mentioned, we practice a lot, and I think we're fairly locked in on the set now. But yeah, I am. I really wish that they wouldn't release the lineup so late on. It would just be nice to know the day before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I get why they do it.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
don't want
totally.
they don't want people just showing up for their mate's band and then fucking off. But
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, there's no audience vote this time. Just let us know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great. So, I will be asking every band this, but you don't have to comment if you do not wish to. But is there any one band in particular in the final that you're eyeing up as your big competition?
Well, actually, I'm kind of broadcasting it because I am wearing my monochrome merch right now.
There you go.
I fucking love monochrome.
Yeah.
I really like their sound. I've been chain listening to them on Spotify. They're also thoroughly nice people, as are all the bands, to be fair. But for my
Who
own personal musical taste, they're the ones that I would listen to the most. So I think if I was in the crowd, I'd be voting them. So for that reason, I'm a bit worried about those guys. I think they'll be a pretty
I've
stiff
got,
competition.
yeah, I mean, it could go any way, couldn't it? Really, I
Mm,
think if you're really thinking about each one individually, for different reasons, and we have through the process of the semi-final of actually playing with a couple of them already, we have had a chance to sort of chat things through with them and listen to their experiences and their approach coming at it as well. So actually, yeah, if you think about the other five, wouldn't say yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to call them out and say, no, that there's no competition there.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think all of them for very different reasons. Like there is a wealth of experience and talent there,
mm,
and there's quite a lot of things that I've seen that I think, oh God, we're not doing that as well. But
yeah,
should we be doing that as well? Would that fit
yeah,
our style? Is that what we need to be doing as well? Because I mean, when we haven't existed for that long, really, and I think we've had the chat before of just kind of stick to our guns. We know what our image is as well, and clearly, from comments we've had from other people as well, and the sort of semi-final, and even I attended the other semi the last weekend as well, and people were really sort of complimentary about us and the gigs we've done at Metal to the Masses already, and that people seem to enjoy what we're doing as it is. It doesn't have to be too similar to the rest of the bands. I think we've got something pretty good here, and yeah, stick to our guns, stick to what we're doing.
mm,
yeah. I think it's been really tough competition all the way through to the final. So to discount any band at this point is going to be our biggest failure, I would
Sure.
say. I think everyone is here for a reason. Um, and yeah, we have to be wary of that, I would say. I think the sort of Mandragora's rise and kind of just how hard they have hit the scene, how on it they are with their sort of branding. It's like I feel like they've just got the whole package as a band and they
mm,
work so hard. That is pretty intimidating to me. But it's also quite inspirational. It's kind of like, yeah, I think that's a band that for me personally has kind of spurred me on to work harder.
mm.
But again, like I really do think looking at all those bands, it's like I couldn't necessarily pick a winner, to be honest.
I mean,
Cool.
Very good
obviously,
performance.
the answer is Smile More. Come on,
Hey, there you
that's
go.
the real
That's
answer.
what I was
I mean,
waiting
that
for.
goes without saying,
Yeah,
but
Basically, if you weren't going to say that, I was going to edit this into one big anti-Vulture God smear campaign.
But on the flip side of that, it will be really nice. Like when this competition is over, it will be really nice to start
Yeah.
playing some shows with some of these other
Oh,
bands, and not in a competitive sense. Because like I enjoy the challenge, and like obviously the competition is really fun. But actually, it'll be really nice when we can, hit up some of the other competitors and just be like, hey, we're playing a show. Do you want to come and play the show with us? And not be going head to head. I think that would be great.
I think we're going to say hit up the other competitors and go, hey, we won,
Well,
So
hopefully, fingers
Mel that
crossed.
loser.
so that makes us top billing, right?
Yeah.
Just reminding you, we won.
That's gonna age well. That's gonna age very well.
So what, you asking us to come on tour with you? No, just reminding you we won. Just no reason.
That's the type of people we are.
What would it mean for you guys to play Bloodstock?
Oof.
I mean,
an awful lot, right? I mean, it's especially this early on in the project. It's huge.
Yeah.
It would be a bit
We-
mental, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been accelerating full speed, at least since I've joined. It's been really, really like hands-on. And we sent many messages to our group chat of just like, right, guys, let's get organized. Like, we need to do this now. Everyone needs to do this now. This is what we need. So, I mean, it has been full on. We're doing so many different things at the same time. I mean, ideally, our goal at the moment is getting music out before that point. But I mean,
yeah.
it's a huge thing to be able to do, to say that, I mean, it's more just the to show that all the work we're putting in at the moment is actually paying off. It's kind of the reward, just to say that if we're working really hard, or as hard as we're currently working, that's the reward that you'll get. So yeah, I guess it's kind of an affirmation of just how hard we've been working on this for the last year.
I've been thinking about how that moment when we were stood, me and Milo, at Bloodstock
Mhm.
and decided to form the band. Never would I have thought that, this many years on, we'd be 1 gig away from potentially playing at that festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's surreal enough getting to the final sort of this early on in our life as a band. To actually like be able to play Bloodstock. And for me personally, like I go every year. I think this year I got my ticket as soon as Gojira were announced, like and then obviously Mastodon got announced as well. I think this will be my 7th year at Bloodstock.
First time seeing Mastodon, though.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing them 3 times this year, having never seen them before. So
Nice.
I'm going all out. But yeah, I think like it's kind of my home away from home. And yeah, that full circle moment as well, having kind of like actually formed this project all of those years back at Bloodstock as well, kind of makes it.
It's a full circle moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be really sort of, it would be emotional, like, definitely. So yeah, I think it would be awesome, but probably more surreal than anything else until we're actually stood on that stage.
I've never been. I'm a Bloodstock virgin, so
Yeah,
for
same.
me,
Never been either.
yeah. So actually, yeah. Well, for the both of us, then it would be an amazing thing to do, and also really great to be able to be there, because there are no tickets left now, and I've also never seen
There's
Mastodon,
that as well,
so I would quite like to be there to see some of the other bands. But yeah, being on a
Mm.
stage that size would just be like literally childhood dream come true. Like that would just be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Cool. So, we are nearly done. However, I like to end these Crushing Sounds videos the same way every single time, with some random quick fire questions that have nothing to do with anything. You can think as long or as quick as you like. You can elaborate. You can fight it out if you wish. You do not have to come to a consensus. Just some light questions to see us through to the end. We'll start with the classic. Do you prefer modern metal or traditional metal?
Modern.
Well, I would say modern, but the stuff I mean when I say modern isn't modern anymore.
Yeah, okay.
That's true.
What are we defining as
Oh,
modern?
fuck's sake. Here we go.
Let's say
Semantics.
I really like prog rock. I really like prog
Yeah,
rock.
Tom's
really like...
Tom's a Genesis fan.
I don't know. I mean,
let's say pre-2000 or post-2000.
So it's basically,
Yeah.
is the band
Post.
older than Fisher or younger than Fisher?
Is that the milestone? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I'd go modern. Yeah.
Yeah, modern. I'd say
modern.
post 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, modern.
Nice.
But that's not to discount the classics.
Oh no, of course, of course.
Yeah,
What about you, Chris? I want you to answer these as well after we've
No one
Yeah.
has ever done that to me before.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
See, my heart says modern metal, but then I know I'm missing out Nightfall in Middle Earth by Blind Guardian, which came out pre 2000, I think. But
Okay.
probably modern. I think 99% of what I listen to is modern.
Yeah, I
for
was gonna
sure.
say if there's one release before 2000,
But it's-
probably safe to say it's modern.
but it's
no, he
Nightfall- it's-
really, really likes
He
that.
really likes
really
it.
like Nightfall in Middle Earth.
That's your
Really.
free pass. You get one free pass each. That's fine.
Brilliant. Breakdown or sing-alongs?
Ooh. Hmm.
I'll say breakdown.
Right.
Although
Really?
Yeah.
I love a sing along, obviously, but there's no special face for a sing along, whereas
Yeah.
there's a special
True.
face for a breakdown, and
That's
that
a
clinches it for me.
very good point. I think it depends.
I think for me, just Clone live at Livier Charroux
Yeah,
2010, for me, that one
That
breakdown
alone.
makes this answer breakdown for me.
Good reference.
Hell yeah.
I'm on the fence. I think some sing-alongs like just go so hard.
I think it's the
Well, you were
visceral
singing
side of
your-
the breakdown, isn't it? It's just that visceral, like, oh my God, like the energy that there is in the crowd. That's the draw for metal. It's just, that, I mean, the energy that it can create is just, I think that's what really pulls me into metal. And I haven't got a huge metal background on me really, but that's the bit. It's just like, oh yes, it's just it's an absolutely filthy breakdown to just make a song.
That's because you love hitting your china.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
reason.
With a massive snare, and then there's like a gap, and there's just China and nothing else for a little bit.
Yes.
And it's like, that's all you can hear for a little bit.
Chef's kiss.
For 2 measures or something, it's just China.
Oh, I actually don't know.
On the fence like me.
Yeah, because I think the way I would go at it is because both are amazing. Both can be overdone.
Yeah.
If both were just done for a long time, which would get boring first? And I think probably breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I think I'm with you on that. Like, it has to be good. Like, I think a lot of breakdowns are just really cliche, kind of predictable, boring, and there are a lot of sing-alongs that just don't grip me. But when both of them hit,
But if
they
the
hit
but if the
very
breakdown
well.
was in every song in like an hour-long set, you'd be like, oh, fucking hell, another one. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like if it's just like there's like 3 songs have gone past, and then you can feel one coming. It's like, oh, here
That
we
and
go.
okay, the
Here we
anticipation of a
fucking go.
breakdown.
There
I think
is
that's,
it's
that's
a
the real
gentle
winner.
bit as well. There's a hole that forms in the crowd, and it's like, yes, come on.
This is what
Here
it's
we
about.
go. This is why we're
Which
here,
is
isn't it?
funny actually, because the one song of ours that we play live that has got what I'd call like a traditional breakdown. There is none of that anticipation. It comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and it's
There's
actually really basic.
Yeah, it's very
No easy answer, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
actually
there's no build up to it. It just suddenly does a tempo change. It's like now's the fucking breakdown.
Well, I remember when we were
quite like
writing
that.
it, like I literally just had the thought of like breakdown now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had like the sort of melodic bit, and I just thought, caveman riff right here.
Caveman
We don't.
riff.
That's the only bit in the set that has that kind of riff.
4/4
Like,
caveman riff. Let's have it.
It's like everyone trying to split the crowd frantically quick. They didn't pre-warn us.
they start giving hints like it's fucking split.
It's coming. Brilliant. Next one, Metallica versus Slayer.
Oh, Metallica.
Metallica.
Really not a fan of Slayer, I'm afraid.
Ooh.
I went and saw them live, and I admit I'm not the biggest fan of them, so I only know like the big ones, and they saved them all for the encore. So for like 2 hours, I was stood there sort of watching songs I didn't know too well. I was like, surely they're going to play the big 3, right? And then they played them for the encore. But I've never seen Metallica, so
That's
Didn't
a good
stop you
point.
wearing that T-shirt the other night, though, did it, Ben?
Was he
Didn't
wearing a
stop you wearing the
Metallica
Slayer?
shirt?
No, the Slayer T-shirt. You had the
Oh,
Slayer
yeah,
Oh, that's
shirt
a
on.
good point. Yeah.
well, I got it at the gig.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
get
gotta
a
wear
shirt.
it. Wear it.
Name
I
5
think-
songs now.
Got to support up and coming bands, haven't you?
If they swapped,
The underdogs.
if they swapped Dave Lombardo with Lars, I would be a massive Metallica fan. I know it's really
Yeah.
cliche to take the piss out of Lars, And I say that as somebody who
Yeah.
genuinely likes the song Saint Anger. I think that's fucking quality. So I'm gonna have to go Metallica as well on that. How about you?
Yeah.
Metallica.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think Metallica just
they've got more
more
good
iconic.
songs. They've got more good songs.
Yeah,
more
there's
range.
more variety as
It's more range.
range, variety.
Yeah.
I like a bit of that in my life. Slayer gets
Yeah.
very repetitive for me very quick.
Well, it's not even that for me. I think Metallica's peak is just better than Slayer's peak, but Metallica's worst. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Good
true.
point.
Talk about
Good
that.
point. But then it's funny. Then it's funny, and you still enjoy it.
Exactly.
You get to laugh at Lars.
I
That's
would
great.
enjoy Saint Anger a heck of a lot more if it were 30 minutes.
It was
Yeah.
it was the Master of Puppets on Spotify live at Meadowlands, I think.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God, you said that the other day. That was actually surreal. That
I
live
just-
record.
painful.
I could not believe that guitar solo is on Spotify. That was unbelievable. You said that like late at night. I think I woke up the morning of work. I was working. I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Jesus Christ! There's no way."
On
Well,
Spotify.
it's Kirk playing a solo, but like at least a semitone out for the entire harmony, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
It's the like
painful.
it's like oh wow. Yeah.
terrible.
I kind of love the fact that they're one of the biggest touring bands on the planet and they evidently still refuse to play to playback.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. It's
Wild.
brilliant. Why the
Gotta
hell
respect
would you?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
seeing them this year actually, so I'll let you guys know how
Are
it
you at
is.
the Black Sabbath show?
Oh yeah,
I am.
same.
Same. I got, yeah, I'm going.
Nice. Hell
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
I've never seen them either, so it's gonna be
Nice.
great.
They're one of,
Still-
I mean, they're one of the big ones, aren't they? You have to see them.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
get the
It's gonna be
chance.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. Let's move swiftly on. Favorite movie?
Yeah. Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
Ooh.
I think it's a hard choice, but just because it's the one that always pops to mind, and I actually was speaking to Fish about this the other day, The Lighthouse, Robert Eggers, with
Oh, yeah.
Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
You just like that sexy mermaid in it.
Well, the fucking stone figure.
She's a big part of it.
No, the real life fish woman.
Oh, the real life
Yeah.
fish woman.
Yeah.
I just think it's so surreal, and I just the acting, the dialogue in it, it's phenomenal. And
I still haven't seen that one.
the monologue that Willem Dafoe has at one point is just like, my God.
Yeah.
Felt like I was holding my breath during that whole thing. It's great film.
It's excellent. Mine is Interstellar. I'm a big sci-fi nerd. I love sci-fi. I read a lot of it. Sci-fi films are my favorite. In fact, a little bit of lore for you. Vulture God is taken from a sci-fi novel. I'm not going to tell you which one because we're scared of getting a lawsuit. But yeah, I fucking love anything to do with space. So Interstellar, apart from the last sort of 20 minutes, I could do without that. But the rest of the film is amazing, and I love it very much.
I think Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I think.
Oh yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Extended though, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
there
God,
is
yeah.
there is no other version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the three. I think I'm trying to weigh the three up in my head. That's the best. If not, it would be something like Midsummer, the
Oh, yeah.
24 horror film.
You were
something like
eyeing up that
Um,
finishing mallet, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. We've got $2,500 to spare. Really tempted to drop that on the old finishing mallet there for the A24 prop auction, but never mind. That would have been that's such a good stage prop. But,
Yeah.
been cool.
a lot of money.
What about you, Chris?
Fellowship of the Ring.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Straight up Fellowship of the Ring. Just
fair play.
perfect movie.
It's the bit when Boromir runs in to save Merry and Pippin. I always well up. I'm like, oh, the music, the music, the set piece, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I adore that movie so much. Next one, spicy or mild?
Spicy.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah.
Depends what mood I'm in. Depends if I have to do anything the following.
I was going to say,
day.
you're an IBS girl, aren't you? So
It's always a coin toss for me. I love it. I love it. And it's so funny how every time I tell myself, right, I've got like a gig tomorrow or something, really shouldn't eat anything spicy. And the only time I ever actually eat anything spicy is when I really shouldn't.
That's why
I
he
do.
pulls those faces on stage.
Hey,
Just
there
trying
you
to
go.
keep it all in, lads.
The
Yeah.
smell up there is unbearable.
I love spicy food, yeah, but yeah, got to be careful.
I like a
Yeah.
good bit of spice. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I think there is definitely a threshold when too much spice is like this is. I'm sort of in pain rather than enjoying the taste of this meal.
Well, it's
Yeah.
when you
But
can't
I like
taste
a
it.
bit of heat. I like a bit of heat in there. Yeah, definitely.
I
Um,
grew up in a family where my relatives would have competitions to see who could eat the hottest chili or sauce. Honestly, the sauce cupboard at my parents' place is like there are sauces in there. I think you boys have seen them called things like melt
Ketchup.
your fucking face off,
Mm.
blow your cock off, and my personal favorite, which is sphincter
The sphincter
shrinker.
shrinker. Yes,
Yeah,
I've had
it's
that.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be weird if I didn't like spicy food after
Really
growing up in that sort of environment. So yeah, I'm a spicy boy for sure.
If anything, you'd
nice.
think it'd do the opposite to shrink it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
blows it wide open.
Yeah.
but maybe it's because you're forcing
Prolapse.
it shut.
You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah. And on that note, what's the next question, Chris?
fantastic.
Oh, Chris, what about you? Mild or spicy?
Spicy all the way.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we're all on board.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. Final question. Favorite Vulture God song?
Ooh, this is an interesting one because
It's
at
changed about
the
4 times since I've joined the band. I think. I
for
think
me,
might
yeah,
be
you
our
go, you go.
might be our new one, which we haven't performed. I think after we
Yes.
rehearsed it
Mm.
so many times the other night, I thought this is a phenomenal song.
Mm.
Which I don't know. Can I disclose the name? Are we
You sure? It's only a name.
Exile. It's called. We've never performed it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just yeah. So get ready for the
I
final. It's coming.
I'd have to agree with that, and it's kind of yeah. I don't know whether that's just because it's new, and I think new songs always have that little bit of additional excitement.
There's the variety in it as well. There's
Um,
just this the range in one
it's
song.
an 8 minute extravaganza of brutality.
Mm. It
Um,
properly puts the prog in the prog death moniker that we go under for sure.
yeah,
Like that's leaning heavily into the
I
prog
think it
side of
leans
things.
into a big sort of evolution of our sound as well. It
Mm.
is really cool. I think if I was going to pick one from our sort of current catalogue of songs we play, I mean, No Easy Answer, our closer, just it's a phenomenal song to close on. But
Thanks.
I also really like Ungrounded Groundhog, which just has a very, very weird, distinctive main riff.
Mm.
It's kind of like a clean riff, but it's just
Proper
very
headbanger, that one, isn't it?
there
Yeah.
is. It's got some good headbanging in it as well. It's just yeah, that main riff is probably yeah one of my favorites that I've ever written. I think it's really really cool, really
For me, it's
interesting.
definitely between Groundhog and One Size Fits All. I love
Yeah,
playing both of those songs. And since you've picked Groundhog, I'm going to pick One Size Fits All. I
fair
think that's
enough.
another one that's a bit of a kind of proggy, like up and down journey. There's some quiet bits in it. There's some epic solos. There's some really fucking hefty bits in it. It's really fun to play. And that one in particular, I feel like me and Tom lock in very tightly on quite a
Yeah,
few
the
parts of that.
rhythm in that song is pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say that's my favorite. How about you, Fish?
I think for me, it's got to be No Easy Answer. Just
yeah.
that one's
It
really special
just
to me, just because it just came together
mm,
really smoothly when we were writing it. And just closing on that one, it's just unapologetically heavy as fuck.
yeah, it just
It's
does the
got
job.
like yeah, it's got like proper catchy bits and then brutal like that caveman breakdown I mentioned
And the
earlier.
solo, man, the solo at
Yeah,
the end is
that's
just
my favorite solo I've written for sure.
And
Yeah.
drums
yeah,
are
it's
good as
great.
well.
Yeah,
I
absolutely. Yeah, but it's just
um
that I mean that main hook at the start when it comes back at the end. It's yeah, gotta be that one for me.
and
Yeah,
actually
that's it.
I think that solos in our music is one of the things that we do, well, I say we, Fish does really
Yeah,
well. Because actually, like correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's not often that you get like a full-on solo in a Gojira song, for example.
you don't,
There's
Mastodon's a
none
bit,
pretty
you
much.
yeah,
don't,
The
exactly.
chant I think was the first
Like
one, wasn't it?
and it's
there's tapping and
yeah,
stuff, and obviously
Yeah.
we do a lot of that as well. But I'd say that like that's what
Yeah.
Not elevates us above Gojira. I'm not that fucking big-headed, but I think
Yeah.
I think
You
that's something
are.
that's really special about our
That's
sound.
our
Is that,
special sauce. That
yeah, it's
yeah.
basically
Gojira
just
with solos.
yeah,
Yeah,
fuck it.
there you go. There you
That's
go.
it.
That's it. That's who we are. We're Gojira solos. Do you have an answer, Chris?
Uh,
Obviously, you probably can't
uh,
name any, but
I'll
I'm
go
intrigued.
Le Vent Sauvage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really proud of that one. Yeah, that one came together pretty easily as well,
We
actually.
knocked that up in 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
That
it was really
one.
easy. Really basic, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wrote the
little-
lyrics on the back of a fish and chips box.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
It's
when you
quite
find,
it's quite difficult to choose one though, because I think we've got like, the songs have got quite unique sounds to each other. It's
Yeah.
good amount of range, I think. So
Mm.
yeah, I do sort of change my favorite ones to play,
Mm.
every now and again.
yeah, for sure. Well, when you finally get around to releasing some stuff, send them my way. I'll talk about them on here.
Nice, man. Yeah,
Nice.
will do.
So,
Thank you.
that's all I've got. So, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. This has been awesome.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having us,
Chris.
mate.
Thanks,
Thank you,
yeah,
man.
thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
for
it's fun.
Thank you for having us.
sorry for taking up so much of your
No,
time, but
no, don't worry.
it's been fun.
No worries. I'll just reiterate for everyone watching, the final of Metals of the Masses in Bristol is next month on July the 13th. Check out the link down below if you want to get yourself a ticket. They are going fast, so you're going to want to have to move on that now. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you all for watching. Go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Massive
that
congrats, man.
Oh god.
Amazing.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
It's
sorted.
backwards. Oh man. What the
No,
hell?
No,
it's
it's only for you.
yeah,
Oh, is it
it's
only for
it's-
me?
yeah,
It
backwards
works.
for you, yeah.
Oh, that's
Mirrored.
good. That's
It
fine. I
should be
couldn't find the
backwards
email.
though. It would be
I
way
couldn't-
better if it was
I couldn't
backwards.
find the emails.
Don't lean back. It's just-
Nailed it.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Now we're gonna
Christ.
have to rebrand again to use that. That's way better.
I've got my post credit outtake sorted. Brilliant. Anyway.